do do do. Uh, uh. Is this the end of your YouTube career? Woo, 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 woo. It seems to me we have some differences. Okay, man, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. I broadcast live from coast to coast. I'm Chris the Dom One TV. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. And while you hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell so it'll let you know when my next video or live stream goes down. All right? So without further ado, I had to be careful on how I titled this live stream. And I'm not going to be on this live stream much longer. I just felt like doing a live stream is a lot quicker than just making the video, editing the video, this, that, and the third. All right. I figured, let me just do a video about this particular subject. And what is the subject that I am referring to? And I am referring to and talking about the subject that is broadcasting live in these social media streets. It seems like anybody that's a content provider on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Vine, org.com, MySpace, wherever you champion your content on whatever platform on social media, it seems like everyone is talking about your boy EDP. All right. Now, everybody's been doing reaction videos. I have done and not only doing live reaction videos, but even talking about the subject. And everyone's talking about, and even myself, I talked about it. I made a little comedy skit on this channel, and I even talked about it further in a live stream on my other channel, which is Just My Opinion. Go cop that channel out, okay? But anywho, I talked about the past and the present of EDP. And I did a quick comedy skit, just throwing my little jokes on here and there about the legendary icon of YouTube, all right? And just to do a real fast, if you're not familiar with this guy, he's a content provider who's a huge Eagles fan. That's where he really started his claim to fame. I remember seeing him on Colin Cowherd's show when Colin Cowherd was on ESPN. A crazed Eagles fan would do anything for attention. And then he started elevating into the iconic YouTube creator that you guys know and love. Okay, I was never a subscriber of him. I never indulged in a lot of his content, but it's just dark slapstick type of humor. Some people may like that type of content. Me personally, I just don't see anything funny, or I just didn't see anything funny about his content. Okay. I'm not hating the boy, but to me, I just didn't understand why a lot of people gravitated to him, subscribed to him, and watched his content. Okay. I'm not a connoisseur of EDP. All right. But I do know of him, and I do know about him. And like I said, everyone's doing live reaction videos, particularly of him getting exposed, of having a relationship with a younger, who's not of legal age. If you can just dance around this subject. And they caught him in a sting operation. Not a great sting operation, not a very professional sting operation. And like I said in my live stream on my other channel, This was not Sanchi. Can I say this? Can I say the word? This was not. This was not a joint effort of law enforcement. Okay, and like I said in my live stream, there was no police presence there. There was no. You can just tell from this sting operation, law enforcement was not included in this sting operation. All right. So this man got caught live and direct in 4K, meeting up with a younger female who's not an adult, who's not a legal adult, who can't make decisions of their own. Okay. And they just caught him. All right. And everybody's talking about it. I talked about it. I even made jokes about it. But the one thing I noticed on YouTube, nobody's talking about the future of EDP. Now, there is a live stream, and I just saw it yesterday. This live stream has been up for many days now, okay? And it's showing the subscriber count of EDP, all right? Now, a lot of people told me he was at 2 million subscribers, all right? And I just recently, because I had to do a fact check, a Google search. I went back to the channel, and it's still at 2 million. It's still at 2 million. Now, maybe it takes a long time for your subscribers to ultimately unsubscribe to you, but to me, I feel like a lot of people, even though they know what he is, who he is, I think people are doing one or two things to cope or deal with it. You have diehard fans of his that are going to continue supporting him, still going to his channel, still gravitating to him, and they're going to justify it as, look, we can separate the talent from the individual. And I don't think a lot of people realize this, but a lot of people that was big on Michael Jackson, who was huge Michael Jackson fans, when there were allegations of him messing around with children, still it did not damage his reputation. You know, because people were saying, you know, even though he's this way, we can separate the talent from the individual. And I remember a lot of people said this same thing about R. Kelly. So a lot of people would go, a lot of his diehard day one fans, and the majority of his fans were women, would say, look, we could separate the talent and the achievement of R. Kelly from the individual. And this has been going on through, of course, of history, through the beginning of time. You know, everyone knows the history of George Washington. George Washington was a slave owner. He done a lot of great things for America. But a lot of people that were fans of him, a lot of historians that were fans of him would say, even though he was a slave owner, we can still separate his actions and his behavior from the achievements he did in American history. All right. So if you understand the rabbit hole I'm leading you guys to, people, you know, people can, if no matter how successful, how talented, well, it does matter if no, how successful and how talented you are, how much celebrity that you have, people can separate your actions from the talent that you create. Okay. And people will give you a second chance. A second chance do not literally mean a second chance. A second chance means they will excuse it. They will excuse what you say, what you tweet, what type of lifestyle that you're in. People would give you a second chance if you are beloved, if you have a large following that loves the snot out of you, okay? And I feel like that's what's going to ultimately happen to EDP. Now, a lot of people were saying, oh, well, you know, YouTube should get into it, and they should, you know, close his close his channel. You know, everyone's championing the cancel culture, Everybody's on that wave. And, you know, still to this day, as of right now, his main channel is up, and he has a backup channel. So as far as what YouTube is going to do, we're going to have to wait and see what YouTube is going to do. But YouTube has not released any statements thus far about the matter, okay? Because later on in this video, I'm going to explain to you why YouTube hasn't taken a fast action about it, all right? So let's talk about the future of EDP. Does he have a future in YouTube? And it really ultimately, and it's sad to say, it really ultimately depends on his fan base. If his fan base, I mean, look, he was, and this is a two-parter. You know, he was caught in these streets doing what he did a couple of weeks ago. Nothing has happened. His subscriber count did not slip. His viewership has not slipped. His followers on social media have not slipped, okay? And it goes back to what I was saying earlier about, you know, if you're beloved and a lot of people love you, people can separate your achievement, your talent from the person. People can love what you produce into the world, but they don't necessarily have to love you, okay? And I feel like this is the same type of effect that's happening to EDP, all right? Secondly, I feel like the reason why, you know, I feel like the reason why YouTube is not being strict about, is not did a fast stance or took a fast action to it, why law enforcement still to this date, still has not made any type of announcement about it, has not talked about maybe possibly looking into it or looking into the evidence, because you have to look at it realistically. I know a lot of you guys don't like him, and you know this news, and it's not excusable nor accepted. This news does not paint him in the best light. All right. So a lot of his trolls, a lot of his haters are going to ride this until the wheels fall off. Okay. People like myself who are in the middle, I wasn't a fan of his, but I can look at what has done transpired and say he's a disgusting human being and he should be locked up. Okay. I don't have no hate in my heart or blood in my eyes to see this man burn at the stakes, okay, of social media at the stakes, all right? So I really don't care about him as a YouTuber. I look at it as this is a serious accusation, and from what I gathered from all the information and from that particular video, he got caught, okay? Now, let's put our big boy pants on. There was no police presence there. There was no law enforcement there, okay, to document this and do this in a professional way. All right? And that's why I feel like there's a lot of holes into this exposed video. And ultimately, you know, there's laws that were violated, not by EDP. I mean, not only by EDP, but also by the individuals that created this thing. And there's possibility of charges being brought out on them. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, what you mean other charges? You talking about all the leak exposed videos about the guys who exposed EDP? You know, I'm not talking about that. But that too can be taken to court as well, showing that you have a vendetta against him, showing that there's a possibility that and the way how this video was made and edited, it extorting him, and small. There's a small thing of kidnapping that could have that EDP and his lawyer, because he's going to be lawyered up, all right. That they can there's a lot of charges on both sides where ultimately EDP don't want these problems, and the predator poachers, they don't want these problems at all. And when you take something like this to court, okay, everything is going to come to the light. Now these guys, you know, they've been on social media and they said some not so flattering things about the African American community. They even made jokes about, you know, that particular subject that they're trying to expose EDP on. And that does not look well. That does not make them look like a solid witness. Okay, so like if I think this was in Bakersfield in California, if the state, let's just say they press charges on EDP, okay, they're gonna have all this evidence that they gathered, but a decent lawyer is going to poke holes in the arguments on how they collaborated this evidence, okay? Because during the and this was a theme in the video, that they were saying they were posing as a female. It wasn't an actual female there, I mean, that he was messaging to. So that can be that could be holes into their arguments. All right. And I'm not saying EDP everyone, okay, look, I'm not an EDP fan. I don't like EDP, okay? But you have to be realistic. You have to be an adult here, okay? There's the court of public opinion, and then there's actual court, okay? And both sides are going to be heard. Both sides are going to present their arguments. Both sides going to have evidence that's going to help them with their argument. All right. And you know, depending on how much money EDP makes, I mean, he can get a he can get a real good lawyer. He can get him a lawyer team. I don't know how much this man makes. I Googled him. They said his revenue was like he made like $1 million. I don't know if he's a millionaire. I don't know what type of, you know, I think they was really using the evidence of his subscriber count. Okay, his estimated income. All right. But it, you know, a good lawyer is going to take this case, because one, it's going to make clout for him. It's going to get him it's going to get him you know, his name up there, because he's chasing clout as well. And two, if he can vindicate him, okay, that makes him look great as well when you got other people in these type of situations. Hold on one second. Chris.
What can I get for you?
I need 3 number ones, 2 sweet teas, and one of them with a fruit punch. Could you please add strawberry and grape jelly and y'all Chick-fil-A sauce?
And Chick-fil-A sauce, got it. All right. Anything else?
That'll be it.
All righty, sir. And your total's going to be $14.75 at the door.
All right. Sorry about that. So yeah, let's be realistic and, you know, honest with ourselves. I know a lot of people are got some venom towards him because they do not like the personality, and they didn't like him before these accusations. Then you have people out there that simply don't like him, like myself, because of the accusations. All right, but at the end of the day, these are accusations. These accusations has not been presented in a court of law where you can say, yeah, he did it. Okay, he was charged. He was booked and charged. He served time. So you have to be careful of accusing him of something, accusing him of a crime, and he has not had his day in court. Everyone has the right to appear in court to tell their side of the story. Now, from that particular live stream, I have some doubts and concerns on how they handle it. One, it was not collaborated with any type of law enforcement. So right then and there, right off the rip, there's going to be holes in this video, and also the evidence. This evidence was not presented to any type of law enforcement, any type of lawyer, attorney, nothing. None of these documents, videos, any of this stuff. This was after the fact. If they would have collaborated with law enforcement, while luring him to that apartment complex, then EDP would have been booked, charged, and that would have been a wrap for him. That would have been the end of him. All right, which it remains to be seen what's going to happen to him, moving forward, because hold on one second. Hold on.
Is it Chris?
Yes.
How are you?
All righty.
1475.
All righty.
Have a great day.
You too, ma'am. Is there strawberry and grape jelly in here?
I'm not sure, but here we go.
Thank you, sweetie. Alrighty. She be tripping. There's no strawberry or grape jelly in there, which I don't understand why people eat chicken sandwiches with preservatives in them. But that's neither here nor there. That's none of my business. I was never a fan of it. Let's get back into the topic at hand. So, being an adult, all right, I know y'all don't like him. I don't like him. But everybody's allowed to have their day in court. All right. If we just go around condemning people, having witch hunts with people without allowing them and violating their rights, and just go ahead and just basically just charging him or charging them of whatever, having witch hunts that way, eventually we're going to book and charge an innocent man or an innocent woman. Okay, then, and that's a slippery slope that I don't think anybody wants to take. It doesn't matter what side of the economic border you are on, rich or poor, white or black. Doesn't matter your religious beliefs, whatever. If we start, allowing the court of opinion to be our main court, then we're going to, one of these days, we're going to accidentally book and charge somebody that was totally innocent. So we have to be adults about it. We have to be civilized about it, and give him his day of court to tell his side. But at the end of the day, I don't think anything is going to happen. All right, because of a myriad of factors. One, these porch guys, I don't think they're going to really push this to court because that wasn't their main attention for it. The main reason why they did it so they can get clout, views, and subscribers. This is the biggest they have ever become. They've been on YouTube for a minute. This put them up in the stratosphere. Okay, they're selling merch, they're selling stuff on their websites. They're doing good right now. They're doing good in the neighborhood. All right. So their main purpose of doing this video was not to help the victims, was to not to see this man go to court. Okay, because if they wanted to see this man to go to court, then why they didn't collaborate with law enforcement sooner? Okay, and clearly you can tell in the video they did not call the police. Okay, they wanted him to call the police. They wasn't going to call the police. All right, so you and look, everybody has their own. You know, I can't say, okay, you know, you didn't want to do that. That makes you a bad person. I'm not saying that they're bad people. All right, it's just they did it for different circumstances. They didn't do it because it was the right thing to do. Let's just be fair and let's be real about it. Now, some good came out of it, but that wasn't the initial movement moving forward. Okay. Then too, these guys got they're like, Lucy, you got a lot of explaining to do. They have a lot of they got a lot of stuff to clear up themselves, because there's like leaked videos and messages of these guys being racist, saying the type of stuff that they're accusing EDP of, which they made some jokes about it as well. Okay, you can't have your cake and eat it too. All right, you can't say what he's doing is wrong and his dark humor isn't funny to you, but you have that type of dark humor yourself. Okay, so you got that going on. All right, and they don't want, and two and three, they're not going to try to push this to go to court, because that wasn't their main intentions about it anyway. Not to say that they're wrong in doing it. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Okay, so they're not trying to push it to court. They just wanted to get the clout and the views, because they're in a stratosphere where they never were months ago. All right, so they're doing good. All right. Two, law enforcement. Now you can take this with a grain of salt, but there's someone who works in the Baker Police Department that released a statement saying that they're not sponsoring this sting operation, meaning the Bakersfield Police Department is separating themselves from this, because there's some liability issues down the road that and you clearly violated some rights and laws of EDP in the whole situation, that there's a possibility that these guys could be charged as well. All right, so the Bakersfield Police Department is looking at it like, look, we're going to separate ourselves from it. There's still no word on them about them looking into it. Okay, so in their eyes, this is this isn't even an open case. It's not even a closed case. Okay, because there's some liability issues that need to be addressed before they get into this. All right, and like I said, I said this in my live stream yesterday. No police presence, and y'all doing this type of stuff, it just does not look good. All right, so the future of EDP, I feel like the future with him is I don't think it'll ever be a day where he can say we're back to being normal. He's back doing his same old. He already deleted a lot of videos on his main channel, because I think he's ready for ready for the blow from YouTube. But like, YouTube is investigating it themselves. That's why they're not in no rush to close his channel. Okay. But I think he's looking at it like, look, if this happens, I got my backup channel. All right. I'm pretty sure that he's lawyered up. He's got him a lawyer or lawyers, and they're in communication and in dialogue with the Bakersfield Police Department to see if they're going to press charges moving forward. They haven't even released a statement about the topic, and this doesn't happen like 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. All right, now things can change next week. They may say, okay, we got enough here, we're gonna look into the matter. Okay, but they haven't even talked, they haven't even discussed as far as looking into the matter. All right, and thirdly, are these guys, they're going to be your main witnesses. They have the majority of the evidence. All right, and these guys do not look like Mother Teresa's. All right, these guys got a lot of holes in their argument, and their character have a lot of holes in it. And if they go to court, his lawyers want to put them on the stand, and they're going to they're going to have their way with them. All right, and I think at the end of the day, they're not gonna. I feel like at the end of the day, they got what they wanted. They're YouTube famous. They got views. They're selling merch. That's all they wanted from this in the beginning. Okay. They're not going to push this any further. They're not going to testify against EDP, because if they're the main witnesses and the majority of the evidence that they have on this guy is created by them, then it doesn't look good for them. As far, I mean, these guys are not wholesome guys, they're not clean guys. They have some question, their character has some questions in it. So yeah, so that's all I gotta say on this subject. I really do appreciate everyone. You know, I thought I was gonna do like 15 minutes of a live stream. I ended up doing 32 minutes, and like I said earlier, I felt like this would be much easier than making a video, chopping it up, and then download it on YouTube and waiting for it to finish. So yeah, that's all I got for today. Don Squad in the house, stand up, salute. Be sure to hit that subscription bell. I mean, the subscription button, notification bell, like and share this content with your friends, family, and followers. I will see you guys on the next video. Don't you?